We had a very exciting qualifying session for the Monaco Grand Prix, and it ended up with Nico Rosberg 0.06 of a second faster than his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Now, those times were done on the first run on the first set of tyres. All the cars came in, put on a fresh set of the super soft tyres, and went out for a second run. On the way to the first part of the lap, Nico Rosberg had lost 1/10 of a second relative to his fastest lap, and Lewis Hamilton had gained 0.2 of a second. But going down to Mirabeau, Rosberg made a bit of a mistake, locked the brakes up and went down the slip road. That meant the yellow flags came out, and Lewis Hamilton was caught in those yellow flags and in the end had to back off, so his lap was gone as well.
So yellow, yellow, turn 5. Yellow, yellow, turn 5.
Yeah, that was very good of him. Very good.
On his controversial lap, he pulls over, still to miss this dip in the road because the car would bottom out there. Pulling across to the left, he leaves half a car's width to the barrier. Now that means that there's not quite such a good line into Mirabeau. And as he turns in, he locks the right front brake up. Now he's having a bit of indecision in the steering wheel. The car won't turn, he's heading for the barrier, and then he decides to turn left and go down the slip road. Now the stewards have had a look at this. They've decided that he was on a faster lap. He was going faster at that point in the corner. He did put on the brakes that little bit later, and they've no penalty basically. The grid position, pole position for Nico Rosberg, and second for Lewis Hamilton stands.
Nico is under investigation, so don't take any risks. Okay, Lewis, so no penalty for Nico. No penalty for Nico. He's on his final warning for cutting the last chicane. Okay, let's get up to Nico 1 second. He's on the option tyre. He has one more stop, so don't hold him up. There's a free track behind Nico. You don't need to use the tyres up defending against Nico.
Why is he not letting me through?
Okay, Lewis, if you let Nico pass to this lap, please. Let Nico pass on the main start-finish straight.
I'm not slowing down for Nico. Get close and overtake me and overtake. Why is he not letting me through?
He's had the message, Nico. He's had the message.
And we watch once again the Kemmel Straight. Is Lewis Hamilton far enough ahead of his teammate to stay out of danger once more into the chicane?
Lewis was a little bit wide on the way into Eau Rouge, and it cost him. He had to get out of it at the top of the hill, and that's why he needs to go defensive. DRS not in play yet, but Hamilton hasn't got the grip that Rosberg has got.
Oh, and to be fair, Hamilton has actually got more of a front wing now. He's got a puncture, Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg's lost a bit of front wing, and for the first time this season, we've seen the two Mercedes drivers coming together, collision into the chicane. It's Hamilton who comes off worst.
It looks fine on the TV, Nico. Looks fine on the TV.
Have you had a good look at my front wing?
Well, keep you advised on it.
Looks like they're okay now. The lights going on above the driver's head. It's lights out and away we go. Hamilton, I think, got the better start there. He's already easing alongside his teammate Nico Rosberg. It's going to be two Mercedes going wheel to wheel into the first turn. Verstappen into the inside in about 7th, and Hamilton looks to have forced his teammate wide again, and Rosberg has to go off the track, and Hamilton into the lead. Daniel Ricciardo follows him, and Daniel Kvyat challenging his teammate as they head down the hill. Rosberg's losing places again. Sergio Perez is up alongside him and ahead of him, and through the S's, Hamilton leads Kvyat now, then Ricciardo, then Perez, and then Rosberg, and making places as well. Sebastian Vettel now looks to me down in about 12th place.
He goes up the inside now. Let's see if there's any contact. I think they just arrived there with no front grip, and boom, out it goes. A little help off the track.
It was carnage right up there at the first turn.
So he's released both clutches, and there's his teammate for close company. They did touch. They did touch. He had to turn out of the corner. It was a proper shove.
Was Hamilton a bit too aggressive?
Well, let's just see if he's got any front grip when he gets there. Let's see how much he turns the steering wheel and if the car just slides across the road. He was running out of space. He didn't turn the steering wheel.
Rosberg looked to maintain his searing run of victories. Hamilton knew he had to spoil the party soon. Finally, good starts from both as the Mercedes duelled immediately on the run down to turn 1. Nico was in the tow. Lewis elected to defend the inside line, but an ambitious Rosberg was daring on the brakes to snatch the lead. Verstappen attacked Vettel for 4th position. But up front, suddenly there was sight of a gap. Rosberg swooped to block. Hamilton kept his foot to the floor. The simmering team battle boiled over in the most dramatic way possible. Both Mercedes out on the first lap. Extraordinary scenes as Hamilton and Rosberg collided once again. Hamilton was visibly furious to exit in such an ignominious manner.
I mean, to be honest, it happened so fast. I saw a gap and I went for it, and that's what racing drivers do.
Definitely didn't expect him to do that. And the next thing is, you know, him spinning on the grass and taking me out.
As we head in to the final lap of this race, Nico Rosberg, who started from 6th on the grid, heads his teammate by 0.6 of a second, who started on pole. Rosberg never won a Grand Prix from outside the top 3.
Hey, look at this, this is close. Hamilton got a fantastic drive out of turn 1.
So here he goes then. Is this hammer time? Lewis Hamilton wheel to wheel with Nico Rosberg in towards turn 2. His teammate's got the inside line. They've touched again. Hamilton runs wide, and is he going to come onto the track and touch his teammate? He's now got damage. Nico Rosberg to his front wing. Bits of carbon fibre are showering the track, and Lewis Hamilton does manage to overtake his teammates, but the damage has been done to the front wing.
He's slow. Hamilton's quite slow too.
And out goes Sergio Perez as well.
That's why he was slow. Yellow flags.
They're both slowing down. Gutierrez and Wehrlein
look
just
at
ahead.
These two, look.
I was going to say Verstappen and Raikkonen, and now closing in on Nico Rosberg. Hamilton leads this race. Rosberg might not even end up on the podium. He's been passed by the Red Bull and the Ferrari as well. All happening on the final lap of this race. Lewis Hamilton, who went for the move on his teammate. Rosberg defended aggressively. Hamilton wins out. Hamilton takes the Austrian Grand Prix, the 250th Grand Prix win by a British driver. He wins in the Styrian Mountains. Max Verstappen just holds off Kimi Raikkonen, and limping home, the championship leader in 4th place, minus a front wing, is Nico Rosberg. And if you thought that Grand Prix was epic, anyone who's selling tickets for the Mercedes debrief today, I'll buy 2 for the front row.
I think Rosberg's only got himself to blame on that one. Look at the grass hanging off the front of that. And Wehrlein does get a World Championship point.
Okay, Lewis, well done, mate. It's not the race we were after, but yeah, good result.
That was on the outside. That wasn't me that crashed.
Let's have a look at it again, Martin.
I think he was just trying to come back up the inside. Hamilton was so fast off the exit of turn 1, and Rosberg basically didn't leave him any room, did not leave Hamilton room there. They nearly touch again. But I will give that 100% to Rosberg on that one.
Nico gets an equally good start to his teammate Hamilton. On the run down towards turn 1, he slips into the slipstream of the sister car and makes a brilliant move around the outside. Now this is proper racing, and Rosberg was on fire there. He did it just inch perfect. But this is where something seems to go a bit wrong for him. During the corner, looking at Hamilton's onboard, you see that the rain light starts to flash on Rosberg's car. Now what this is when the car goes into harvesting mode. Just coming up here, and at this point, round about now, so there we go, Rosberg starts to react to it. And just go to the full frame at this point. Oh, hang on a minute, I'll just rewind that for you, just so you can see what goes on. So he reacts to the rain light. The hand goes down and makes a switch change. Then he presses a button on the top left and then looks in the mirror as Hamilton's making his move, and that puts him onto the grass, and we all know what happens afterwards. So we'll go to the full frame.
So here he goes then, Lewis Hamilton wheel to wheel with Nico Rosberg in towards turn 2. His teammate's got the inside line, they've touched again. Hamilton runs wide, and is he going to come onto the track and touch his teammate? He's now got damage. Nico Rosberg to his front wing.
A dramatic conclusion to the Austrian Grand Prix saw Mercedes teammates Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg collide as they battled for victory. But how did it come about?
My brakes were on the edge, just getting too hot, and they went into passive mode, so the pedal changed quite a lot on that last lap, so that makes it a lot more difficult.
So Rosberg was having problems braking, while Hamilton was on a different tyre strategy, and his soft tyres had better performance at this point than the super softs on Rosberg's car. So Hamilton was closing fast as they began the final lap. Here's what happened from his perspective.
Nico made a mistake into turn 1, clipped the inside curb and went wide, and I got a good run up on him. Up to turn 2, he blocked the inside, and the only place I could go was down the outside. So I was on the racing line, and I went very wide, left him plenty of room, and as I started to turn, I was at the edge of the track. He collided with me, and then I came back onto the track as quick as I could, and it was very close between us there. And if he did have the brake problem, that'd be the reason he lifted off really early down the next straight, which we were racing on.
But was it just his underperforming brakes and tyres, or an aggressive defence of the corner that led to the collision?
It was a bit of both. I mean, for one, I was struggling to slow the car. Well, that's the main one, really. Just struggling to slow the car. But anyways, I'm on the inside, and I have it's my position, and I have the corner, and I have the right to dictate the way.
But the stewards disagreed, taking a dim view of Rosberg's racing line. If we have a look at Rosberg's line compared to his previous lap, it's easy to see the difference and how much wider he runs. The stewards handed Rosberg a 10-second penalty and 2 points on his licence for failing to leave racing room for Hamilton and causing the collision, as well as a reprimand for then failing to stop in his damaged car, as Max Verstappen and Kimi Raikkonen both took advantage and swept by into the podium places. So Hamilton took the win, with Rosberg 4th, cutting his championship lead to just 11 points. With tensions high, all eyes will be on the two Mercedes drivers once again when the action gets underway.